Sahana vavatu Sahanau bhunaktu Sahaviryam karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. May the Lord protect us. May He nourish us. May we acquire the capacity to study and understand the scriptures. May our study be brilliant and may we not cavil at each other. Om, peace, peace, peace unto the Lord. Dear brothers and sisters, loving Sai Ram to all of you. We welcome all of you to the online satsang of the Sri Sathya Sai Baba Center of Arcadia. Now we are resuming our study circle on the Sutra Vahini, which is the commentary on the Brahma Sutras, Brahma Sutra Bhashya by God Himself, our Guru and God, Bhagavan Sri Sathya Sai Baba. We finished 5 sutras. Now we are going to start the 6th Brahma Sutra. These are all interconnected, so always I would recommend everybody just before this study circle, just refresh your memory about what was discussed before. The last one, the Brahma Sutras 5, where it was emphasized that everything is from Brahman, not from this inert matter, Jada. Everything is consciousness, and from that, everything what we see, hear, and touch and experience, we have. So that is called Prakriti, and then Purusha is the consciousness. So in continuation of that particular Brahma Sutra, so this particular 6th one is propounded, whereas Gaunaschetna Atma Shabdat. So this is the Brahma Sutra, where the Supreme Self is the primal entity. We talked about Atma, that is not the primordial matter, the inert matter of the Prakriti. That is the theme of these Brahma Sutras. I think we talked about it before. In the scriptures, we always talk about 3 things. Shravanam, you hear. And second thing is Mananam, you contemplate or ruminate or dive deep into that to understand. Otherwise, as Swami says, it goes to one ear, to the other ear, nothing remains inside. So Shravanam, then Mananam, you need to retain and recapitulate, recollect, and contemplate. That is a very important process. And third most important is Nididhyasana. Apply it in our daily life, practice it. Then really you will get the results. So this Shravana aspect is covered in the Upanishads, where we saw big discussion between the Guru and the disciples, like Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, Taittiriya Upanishad, Chandogya, where there is a wonderful discussion between the disciple asking the Guru what. Then these Brahma Sutras come to the next stage, Manana, which is for contemplation, rumination, and reflection. Then once you do that, then we come to the Nididhyasana, that is Bhagavad Gita. Lord Krishna, He was kind. He summarized the essence of all Upanishads into that Gita, where people who do not have, just you see that there is the essence of all the Upanishads. That is where beautifully it is said, you can compare all the Upanishads to a cow. And then the one who is milking the cow is Lord Krishna Gopala. And then the essence, the milk which comes out of the cow, That is the essence is Bhagavad Gita. And we are the one we are going to enjoy that. If we have Sudhir Bhokta, if you have one-pointed concentration and interest in that, then you enjoy that beautiful milk, which is it's not really milk, it is, I would say, it is nectar. If we really drink it and practice it, we remain immortal. That is, which is our true nature. So this particular Brahma Sutra, talks about the nature of the Atma. So we'll start that. Slowly we'll go into this, because it's very deep topic and needs a lot of reflection. Sometimes it may feel very esoteric. So just you need to do it slow.
Sai Ram, brothers and sisters, we'll start on chapter 6. Supreme Self is the primal entity, not primordial matter. Punaschet na Atma Sabdat. Since the word Sabda, Atma, is used, Atma Sabdat, the thinking, Ikshate, or projection mentioned in the previous aphorism has to be a function of the Atma. Fire or water is the product, the effect of the will. The words projection and manifestation cannot be interpreted in a secondary or figurative sense, guna. The Atma alone is indicated as the primal entity in the revealed text, Shruti or Veda. The urge or resolution is a happening in the Atma itself, not in any other entity. The entire cognizable cosmos is just being, Sat, or is. Whatever form it has assumed in the process of time and in the perimeter of space, all of it is in reality only being, that is to say, Atma. This is the lesson of the Veda. Nothing is inert, inactive, jada. Thus, we find the word Atma used once in a while to denote even primordial matter, pradhana or mula prakriti. Primordial matter is the instrument that fulfills the will of the sovereign consciousness, Purusha, the Overself. Being operated by the Supreme Self, who is the cause, nature, pradhana or prakriti, also has consciousness ascribed to it. Should we stop?
Yeah.
So this is the introductory section in which the concept is very straightforward, but this has many aspects to it. Our Upanishads say Ekam Sat, Anishavasyedam Sarvam, means everything is Brahman and the truth, Brahman, is one. So the Atma is only one, and it is not any other entity, and the entire world is pervaded by the one Atma. In fact, Adi Shankara in this context said at one time, Atmanam avibhaktam vibhakteshu, means try as you might, you cannot divide the Atma, it is one, only one. So the Vedas are reminding us that nothing is inactive or not Brahman, it is all Brahman. And why is that? Because Brahman is consciousness. So how can anything exist that is not conscious? One of the four Mahavakyas that we have heard before is Prajnanam Brahman, which means Brahman is constant integrated awareness, pure awareness all over. So everything has that awareness built in, every person, every being, every object. So nothing is jada or inactive or without consciousness. So even this, to learn this awareness of consciousness is to come closer to Brahman. So those are some of the concepts that come to mind.
Yeah, the main thing we need to remember here, as the Vedas are telling, because Vedas, they are called the Shruti, they are the revelations of the truth from God Himself. They very clearly say the main thing, which is the underlying principle, is the Atma, that is the basis, Vishwadhara it is called. And that becomes the cosmos also, Vishwakara, both it is Adhara. One time I was there in Prashanti Swami was telling one of the senior devotees who see the whole this world that is called becoming. This everything is becoming. So being with his Sat is lost in becoming. So that is why what all you see is that is the being only. So beautifully he said, being is lost in becoming. So this whole thing is the world, is the becoming. That is nothing but being, because you don't see that. That is why you are caught. And second thing in this world, how to behave, that is also beautiful. Pan Swami had one of the Shakespeare's, one of the famous dramas, one of the famous things, be or not to be. To be or not to be. Swami just beautifully was telling the answer for all of us is to be and yet not to be. So that's what the Shakespeare drama says, to be or not to be. Swami said to be and yet not to be. That means that whole in the world you are there, but you should not feel like you're touched. Like beautifully they say, like on a lotus leaf, the water is there, it is not touched. So you should behave like that. You are in the world, but not of the world. Because we all get like head in the forest, hands in the society. We all work. That is what the whole Gita Swami talked about. Beautifully, Sri Ramakrishna always giving beautiful parables. He says, I know in Bengal, they cut the jackfruit. When they cut jackfruit, there's a lot of sticky stuff. So he says, put oil in the hands, first put it there, and cut the jackfruit. Then it doesn't stick to you. So similarly, in this world of delusion, the best is we need to work in the family, in the society, or at work. Put the oil of vairagya, detachment. So do work with the detachment. Otherwise, you'll get sticky. Everything will stick to you. And then you'll get entangled, repeat the cycle of birth and death. So in this world is to be and yet not to be, is just being developed that thing, always remembering everything is Atma. Okay, Sai Ram, we will continue.